This is Patch.
And this is Stash.
And today we're going to show you some of our equipment that we use while we're in the field. I'm going to start out with dowsing rods. These are 100% copper, and according to paranormal science, is supposed to allow spirits that are made up of energy use your own energy, who's ever holding these, to manipulate the rods in a specific direction that you request. Usually, most of the time, as you guys have known, it's cross for yes, open for no, but there's other things that can happen as well, like open the right one or close the left one. It could be very specific. It just depends on who you're talking to. The object of dowsing rods is to hold them as steady as possible, as level as possible, asking a question, and try to get a response. So I'll just go ahead and see if we can get a little demonstration right now real quick. If there's anybody here right now with us, can you please cross these rods for yes? If there's anybody here with...
Wow!
That was a no response.
That's a no response. But interesting that they both went in the same direction.
Yeah.
So whoever's here with us right now, can you cross these rods? Put them in the opposite direction and cross them, please? Or put them back straight. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Pointing towards me.
Well. Oh well.
Okay.
But that's the dowsing rods. We've used these at a couple different places, as you've seen, and we've got some great responses. Yeses, nos. We've even been able to use them to spell out words in the alphabet.
Get names,
the alphabet,
possibly,
yeah. Which will, look something like, do you feel comfortable spelling a name out for us? Cross for yes. If they do cross for yes, then you explain them the instructions. You go through the alphabet, and then the spirit will cross at the letter of whatever we're trying to spell, and then so on and so forth until you get a name.
It's always good to use good etiquette. So
right.
Like you were talking to a person.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk, then they don't want to talk. That's just how it is.
It's important to ask for permission.
Yep. Be as respectful as you can.
Be as respectful as you possibly can. We've noted that spelling words out is not just draining for the spirit that we're talking to, but also for the user of the dowsing rods. Not really sure, the exact science behind that, but we've noticed it, over the times that we've used it.
We physically felt.
We feel, tired
drained.
for the, next 24 to 48 hours. And we've also asked the spirits that we're, asking to spell out names, how they feel. And,
the long sessions.
They say that, they get tired, and you can tell it slows down. So we've had most of our activity with the dowsing rods, and I've even noticed too, I had another set that was made out of brass that it worked okay, but once I switched to copper, it seemed to work a lot better.
It was a lot easier for them or something.
The conductivity of the metal, I think, might have an effect on it. And so that's basically the dowsing rods that we use.
We also got this device right here, which is a EMF detector. It will detect changes in the magnetic field around us. If you hold it next to electrical equipment like this one, it'll start blinking. And depending on how much it changes, it'll go all the way to red. There's several different levels of it.
Red is usually for, like, if you're next to a light socket,
or
if there's a lot of underground power lines, I've noticed.
Yeah, so like anything spirit related, you're looking for a dark green to maybe a yellow.
Yeah.
So like mid-range, anything higher than that is probably going to be electrical lines.
And the reason why these work is because spirits are made out of energy. And it's invisible to us, but if they get near it or they touch it, then it'll be able to set it off.
Yeah. And similar to this, we have this device here, which is a REM pod. It will detect the same thing, but if a ghost or a spirit comes in contact close enough to it, the lights will go off. So like I'm touching it right now, so it's going off like crazy. But if I were to zero it out in my hands, and it's used to me now.
And it also has different levels, right? So it starts out in green.
So
it goes to
all the way to purple.
Yeah, purple, yellow, red is in the middle. So once it turns red, that's
like direct contact.
Yeah, direct contact. And it also has an audible ringing that gets louder and more high pitched as you get closer to it.
So yeah, this sound that you're hearing right now is strictly like touch or something in the vicinity of it.
Touch.
But if we can get it to do it, if the temperature changes,
it does like a beeping.
It does like a beep 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 beep. Sounds like Morse code.
Yeah.
That's the actual. It's saying that there's a temperature difference within 5 degrees.
Plus or minus 1.
Plus or minus 1.
Right. So it's a
fairly accurate.
It's a sharp change in the temperature of 5. Also, there's a button on the bottom of this. I'm gonna turn that off. There's a red button on the bottom of this. You can change the sensitivity of the EMF and the temperature sensor. There's 5 levels.
Depending on how sensitive you want.
How sensitive you want it depends on if you're outside, if you're inside.
Yep.
You got to fine tune it. And that's our newest piece of equipment, and we look forward to testing that out.
Yeah. So something like this would be really great to use like next to the dowsing rods to see if there's any kind of change in the magnetic field when they move. Because
the same, magnetism and energy that it takes to move the dowsing rods would set this off. So kind of get that
it would just further confirm that something is happening when the rods are moving or when the object's moving.
Correct. And,
as well as a possible temperature change, which is associated with spirits. They're usually colder.
Right.
So you can kind of feel like cold pockets if you run into one.
Right.
It's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I guess. And you're a little bit more sensitive to the temperature changes. I've never really felt them, but when you do feel them, you know there's a huge difference. It's not just a breeze. Like right now, there's no breeze.
Yeah, right now it's steaming right now in here.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a shaded area, but it's still hot and there's no breeze. So if you would feel something, it would be
if it dropped, 10 degrees.
It would be significant.
Yeah.
Our next piece of equipment is our PSB7 Pro Spirit Box. Basically, it's a radio that scans both AM and FM channels. Look at that butterfly.
Yeah, that butterfly's interrupting everything.
Who do you think that is?
I don't know.
That wasn't just coincidence.
I don't think so.
No, that's funny. All right.
That sounds the same butterfly was at the Oak Grove.
Yeah, but they're flying around that thing. It's weird.
I know.
So it scans AM and FM channels at different speeds, different frequency, or different rates. You can go forwards, you can go backwards, you can speed it up, you can slow it down, and essentially what it's supposed to do is after you kind of fine tune it, and every area is different.
I was just gonna ask, like, it's every space is different.
Every
you never
space
know what
is
you're
different
gonna get.
Depending on, and it picks up the local radio channels, but it's supposed to build a bridge for spirits to be able to communicate with us using the static and some of even the words in the spoken radio transmissions.
So it's not their direct voice.
It's not their voice.
It's not their voice at all. It is the voice from the radio, but they're using those words.
Correct. And the more there's it's called scan step, and you can widen it or you can shorten it. And if you widen it, then it will. Basically, it's like going from looking through a keyhole, if you narrow it, to looking through a window. And if you're looking through a window, you'll be able to hear more stations at the same time, basically giving
them wider options.
right, wider options, but at the same time you kind of increase your background noise, and so it gets, it's like I said, it's you have to fine tune
right
it,
space in between it.
you know, not too hot, not too cold, but just right. And you know, you'll start to hear, you know, you can feel it. It's very deliberate. Something's trying to communicate, and you just have to have an ear to be able to hear what it is. I'll give you a little demonstration. The antenna helps as well. This PSB7 Pro Spirit Box has multiple functions. It comes with an IR activation, magnetic activation. So basically, you can touch this, and it'll activate. You can set it for a timer. So if you ask a spirit, hey, can you touch this box for me? It'll open up a channel for 15 or up to a minute or 2 minutes long, and it'll allow that spirit, once they touch it, to communicate after that. So it's almost like you can set it here, put a timer on it, and then whenever you hear it turn on, you know somebody's there messing with it, and then you can start listening. So that way it's not always on, and you're not always, you know, focused on this.
But so like the REM pod, you could put this in another room.
Correct.
And then plus have a static camera on it.
Yeah.
And you could go to another room or another part of the house or whatever, and then as soon as it goes off, you can hear it, and you can run back over there.
Correct, yeah. And then it comes with an IR function where you can set it up. There's a little kickstand right here, and you can aim it in a direction that there, you know, maybe a headstone or somewhere that seems to be more active. And if something passes in front of it that the IR can pick up, then it'll turn on, and you can set it to turn on it again for you know, a certain amount of seconds. So I'll do a little demonstration here. We have the powers on. Let me turn the volume up, and it can get pretty loud. We'll do. So right now I'm on FM, and you can change the sweep rate to slow it down. So I'll slow it down.
And when we slowing it down, it means it's taking longer in between each channel.
In between each
so
change,
it gets more time on that channel before it goes to the next one.
And then you can speed it up. So that's the fastest.
Which
and it'll
you're probably not going to get anything off of this.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit too fast.
Yeah.
So I usually sit around 90.
Good starting points, usually around 90, probably, yeah.
90 or 110.
That was something.
And so yeah, you can feel it stop. And then you can change as well, scan step, which I said, oh, oops.
It's on.
I accidentally touched the REM, so it stopped it. So the scan step, if you decrease it, then it'll have a shorter window, more of a keyhole to look into. Whereas if you have it at 100, it'll be a wider window and kind of more of a wider range for communication. And that's, you can hook up a headset to it. You can put a speaker on it, and just, yeah.
For record, like we've noticed that with some of the older spirits that we have talked to, they don't necessarily like to talk into it, or they're scared of it because it's
something new, you know.
A lot of these like cemeteries and stuff. These people were born in 1900. There was no radio. You know, it's
1800.
Well, in the 1900s too. Like a lot of them were born in 1800. Some were born. Some died in 1800s. But so they didn't. That technology is completely new to them. So they don't know anything about it. It probably scares them. Probably us just being here probably freaks them out a little bit with equipment.
And we've noticed with newer spirits who have died, you know, recently, they feel a little bit more comfortable. And they almost seem to have a little bit more energy as well when it comes to manipulating the dowsing rods.
Yeah, we noticed that as well.
A little bit quicker, a little sharper. But yeah, that's basically all of our equipment that we use right now.
Also, we have a voice recorder.
Right.
we just use it to capture EVPs, which is
Electronic voice phenomena. Yeah.
which is basically like spirit, what the spirit's saying or talking, or sometimes you can pick up on really low frequency name or a yes, no, things
Yeah.
like that, because they're on some frequency you do hear it, but you have to have it in just the right spot at the right time.
It's not always something that the human ear can pick up.
Yeah, we
Usually
can't.
it's you set it, you leave it, and you let it record, and you come back and you review it, monitor it later,
Yeah.
and it's very
Blast
very
it.
quiet, voices if you get anything.
Yeah, you're most 90% of the time you're not going to hear whatever it is it's saying.
Correct.
And you're gonna have to go back through and boost the audio and try to find it.
Correct.
But other than that, that is all of our equipment. We will go in more detail of like newer equipment as we get it as well. As we get new equipment, we'll probably just do intros or at the beginning of the episode or whatever. I'm saying, we picked up this piece of equipment to try out.
Yeah, and as we work with this equipment too, we'll be able to, I think, be better at tuning them in. When we get to a new location, I think we'll be able to identify what's quicker. As we develop our toolkit. Correct. Yeah. So. Yeah. I look forward to learning more about these and using them and getting different results with them. I'm just it's an interesting stuff for sure.
Yeah. But, so far, this experience that we've decided to go down has been insightful and enjoyable.
Yeah. And some of it's shocking.
Yeah. Some of it's shocking,
to say the least. But thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for any social media updates that we'll have. And appreciate you guys so much.
Yep. Catch you later.
Peace.